악마의 힘을 보여주마.
7K Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a year since Castle Rush Nightmare has been launched, and I have not played Castle Rush for a year. Okay, so this is my revamp guide, and I'm gonna use this team, which is kind of the third most used team in Castle Rush right now. Okay, it has Shane, Colt, Fenrir, Yuri, and Reginlave. And thanks to over the past year, we have a lot of amazing heroes being released and revamped, and this is why we can use such a team right now. Because previously we were using the Reflect team, and honestly, it was insanely difficult. Okay, so before you do anything, you have to waste a lot of skills first, okay? And the reason for that is because you need to wait until Rook, okay, uses his shields, and then you can proceed to remove it, which is like now. Okay, remove the shield with Colt, bottom skill. This is a goodness of Colt, she can remove shields, also do turn decrease, not that it matters. And then you can proceed with using Yuri's bottom skill, which will increase the damage dealt onto the enemies and also decrease their defense. Okay. Unfortunately, this defense decrease does not stack with Colt. Okay. And then from there on, you can actually proceed to use Shane to slay them. Do take note that for Dylan's, he has a single target skill and a 3 target 1 HP conversion skill, but you don't have to worry too much about that because later we'll see. So I'm just wasting skills because one thing you need to note is that in Castle Rush, guild buffs do not apply. Okay, so when guild buffs don't apply, your skill cooldown is going to be longer, so there's a lot of time for you to use other skills in between, even though you know there may not be any other useful skill. Okay, so here Dylan uses his 1 HP conversion, and I really forgot that Fenrir has HP life control. So I went to heal for no reason. That's the effect of not having played Castle Rush for a year. Okay, so you don't have to heal. In fact, you don't have to use Reginlave's skill at all. All you need to focus on is Shane, maybe Fenrir for extra buff, and also Yuri for bottom skill. And once Rook actually dies, okay, I'm taking a little too long with this, the front line, to kill off the front line. But once Rook dies, you realize that Colt doesn't have much use either. She's only there to remove shields. But the reason why she's there is because she fulfills, it's for her to fulfill the 3-man criteria, and she also increases physical attack of your allies by 40%. So she's kind of like a cheaper Eileen, but you know, she has a little bit more utility, such that you don't have to use Eileen and Ariel, okay, together. You can have everything in one hero. So Reginlave, the role of Reginlave here, oh, you saw the third attack proc, right? Yeah, so it was very strong. The role of Reginlave here is really to reduce block rate, okay, of the enemies by 100%, which means you can be very sure that the enemies, your 7 Knights, will no longer be resisting your damage, and you can do consistent damage per round. Okay. On top of that, if in case you know you're not using Fenrir for some reason, Reginlave can also apply block nullification, so it can also help you in your damage output. And you see that now everything, you know, the front line is gone, everything is done. I have already buffed with my Fenrir, I've applied, my Shane has transformed. I'm gonna apply Yuri's Awaken skill, and this increases damage that I will deal to Dylan's for 6 turns. In fact, you know, if you do have the Reset Awaken skill accessory, I think applying it on Yuri is actually pretty good because you can see that the damage output does increase pretty well, okay, after applying her buff. So since it's only a one-time use and for 6 turns, and in Castle Rush right now, since the guild buffs don't apply, you know, turns go by very fast, you may not even do that much damage within the 6 turns. Your Shane may not even move that much. Maybe once every alternate turn or something like that. So I would say that if you do have the Reset Awaken gauge accessory, it's actually pretty good for Yuri here. So it's actually possible to hit up to 80k damage on from your Shane. This damage output from my Shane can be pushed further, okay? There are things that I did not set deliberately, okay, to give you guys a more realistic situation, because I don't feel like you really need to do your trait changes so much for Castle Rush. And I'm also deliberating whether I should make a new Castle Rush video for each boss, because there are some teams which I can foresee, you know, having certain changes done, especially for Spike. So the rest of the match is pretty much flat. Yeah, you see the damage has dropped because the buffs have ended. Okay. And the boss will also be a little bit more tanky towards the later part of the match. You still have 2 minutes on the clock, 3 minutes actually. But really all you can do is spam Shane, maybe reapply Yuri's bottom skill and Fenrir's top skill for additional crit and lethal damage. But beyond that, there's really nothing much you can do, because you know Fenrir with his life control actually saves you a lot of extra skill use with the heal, so you don't have to heal. And if you see that my heroes actually don't take too much damage, if your heroes are not very well geared, okay, you can actually use Yuri's top skill to reduce the physical attack of Dylan's, which will really help you a lot, because your the damage he deals to you will be really low. Okay, so that's one thing. And Regenleaf, yeah, her Awaken skill also decreases damage taken by your entire team. So if you need the bulk, I think at a later stage of the match, because the boss does get a little stronger, you can use these skills to mitigate the damage taken. So somewhere I think around this time, my Shane is only dealing 50,000 per hit. Okay, I think it's still pretty decent even though it looks really low. But yeah, the goal for myself is to be able to hit 1 million per run, and this is the way I do it.
Cease to exist. You meet your
You really have to look at your skill use. Okay, you have to plan it such that it will allow, like during Shane's cooldown, you can actually use certain buff skills to buff that next output that she's gonna do. So I think all this is the kind of so I think these will be the kind of thought processes you want to have during Castle Rush. And I mean, you know, Castle Rush is ultimately an auto clear mode. So if you do get a high score just once, I think it's good enough. If you would care to do it for your guild, you can do it 3 more times and get maybe a 4 million score, which is probably gonna give you the S rank immediately.
cease to exist. Meet your
주인의 명이다. 가라. 평화의 힘을 더 들려줘. 너희의 소리.
Okay, so this is my score with the research center effect, 1.4 million, which is pretty good. I'm going to talk about the equipment now. Shane with Shane with crit and lethal, because you don't have the guild buffs, so you have to make sure that you know you do give her a balanced amount of crit and lethal. But she does have self-growing crit, so you can actually give her double lethal, okay, double HP and standard PvE jewels. I have one mythical awakened PvE jewel and it does give me lethal rate boost, so that is why I could afford for the crit. And for accessory, I've also given her an increased Celestial Envy, if I'm not wrong, yeah, which increases damage dealt to offensive heroes. You realize that I'm on the Willful Ring. Now if you use the Berserker Ring with the Celestial Envy, your damage output will be much higher than what you saw previously, okay? And then also for her traits, I've given her increased damage on offensive. Silence resist is pretty important in case Dylan lands the silence on you. Burn resist doesn't matter. And then for fighters, so I have physical attack increased damage on offensive, decreased damage from offensive, and also one single target and skill cooldown. Now for the limited trait here, I do have one that is increased lethal damage on offensive type enemies. you can also give her crit damage increase on offensive type enemies. I think that will boost your damage a lot more. And with that, I want to say that, you know, it's only because it's possible to have this set up during this period because of the reduced trait change cost. Okay, otherwise I probably won't even touch that. For cult, very simple. Okay, HP, defensive jewel, silence resist, and willful ring. You need to remember 3 things for your front line: HP armor, willful ring, and silence resist for Dylan's. Okay, depending on which boss you want to use this team for, you have to change the resistance accordingly. Same thing for Fenrir, HP, willful ring, and silence resist. So these are the 3 core things you need to remember. If you have PvE defense jewels and status effect resist jewels, even better, because this will give you 100% foolproof resistance against the silence. Yuri as well, HP, willful ring, silence resist. Now for Reginald, she is my speed. I won't say speed leader, but the one with the highest speed. Okay, double speed so that she is able to do more damage. Now if you want to go, you can actually use PvP speed attack so that she can land effect attacks better, but really doesn't matter. Counter rate, okay, counter rate increase, counter damage, and physical attack increase. Now that doesn't matter because previously I was thinking she can heal more, but in this case you realize she doesn't even need to heal. Okay, status effect resist as well, and willful ring with lifesteal. The lifesteal is really to sustain her so that she does not, you know, take too much damage from the enemies, because ultimately she is running a counter armor build. Okay, silence resist is good as well because, as I thought, I needed to heal, but in this case she didn't need to heal, so you don't even need the silence resist. So I hope this video helped, and I will try to make more videos for Castle Rush. Do let me know if you do want to see Castle Rush teams for the other bosses, because I'm not too sure if they will vary that much with this team. Big shout out to my channel members, DMD Phoenix, NAC Dahyun, and Reggie Bautista. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much and see you!